So we're going to be talking about mission opportunities today. And I just went through a number of different ones that I'm familiar with, and thought I would talk a little bit about them. Those from outside of Atlanta, we have a Memorial Drive Ministries that the Memorial Drive Presbyterian Church and the Presbyterian of Greater Atlanta went through a period of time when they were trying to discern what should happen. Memorial Drive Presbyterian started many, many years ago and also founded several other churches. But as of about 5 years ago, they were down to very few members, but they had a beautiful campus. And what we came up with was a place that we could reach out to the refugee community. It's located in the most diverse square mile in North America. It's a church-based nonprofit. And we have 5 different worshiping communities that are participating right now. We've got innovative social services. We've got child care. We've got, we just recently had a diaper drive where we donated over 31,000 diapers. We've got voter registration. We've got education for becoming a new citizen. We've got just so many different things. One of the cool ones is we have a badminton ministry, and they go all over the place playing in badminton tournaments. And what's so unique is that they never once had played badminton before this ministry started. So it's quite innovative. Also, they were the recipient of the 2021 Presbyterian Women Birthday Offering. They needed to replace the roof on where the gym and the kitchen was, because it was leaking, and whenever it rained, they couldn't have meetings in there. So they applied, and we gave the Presbyterian of Greater Atlanta gave them an endorsement, and they were proud recipients and got that roof replaced so that they can use the building first all the time. What I plan to do is to send this to each one of you, and you'll see here at the very bottom where it has this little green. You will be able to click on that, and it will take you to the page for that ministry so that you can do more investigations if you want to do more about it. And let's see. Then we've also got Presbyterian Homes of Georgia. It's a Christian ministry providing services to enhance the quality of life for senior adults. There are 6 facilities within Georgia. 3 of them are continuing care retirement communities, and 3 of them are affordable senior living locations. I have only visited the Austell facility, but it is a great, great place. And it's open to any Presbyterian that wants to investigate living there. So again, the little green thing will take you there and will show you more about that. Thornwell is probably one of our most favorite. It was founded back in 1875, and they address the welfare of children. And they do it in a community setting. So the cottages are set up with a parent family, and then the children, and I think it's up to 8 children can be in each of the cottages, maybe more than that, learn to live in a family community. Perhaps they haven't had that luxury in the past. So that's one of the ways they do it. They also have some different ongoing cycles of service. One of them that I ran across was a deck of playing cards. And I was fascinated, and as a matter of fact, bought 2 decks for my 2 nieces to use with their children. But it gave suggestions for things to talk about at dinner. If you couldn't get the kids going about how their day had been, fine, that was the answer. This deck of cards would give a suggestion for a question for the whole family to discuss. So there's a number of different ways they are addressing the children. Hang on just a second. And then they also support children and families in any stage of life. I know for years, Lawrenceville Presbyterian supported one young woman, and I think we got her up to the 10th grade before she decided to return to her home family. And it was just a wonderful experience of communicating with her. We've also got Villa International, which is short-term and affordable housing. And it's used primarily by researchers at the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta at Emory University. It's multinational. They have short-term and long-term guests. And the 1970 PW birthday offering helped to build Villa International. They do so many amazing things there. And it's a joy. If you have ever had an opportunity to visit with them, the diversity of the people that are living there is interesting to me, because you get to talk to them, and they can be working on research, or they can be learning so that they can take it back to their home countries to help decide how to better they can serve their communities. Atlanta Ministry for International Students is called, we call it AMIS. It's an ecumenical ministry of Christian fellowship and hospitality. If you would like to adopt a student for a vacation or for Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter, they can come live with you. Hang on just a second. They can come live with you. You have some responsibilities of getting them to different activities, but one of the a couple of the members at my church have done this in the past and have just really kept in touch with the students that they got to know over the years. So it's one way that we can help influence students as they go through their college and graduate studies. Mission Haven is connected with Columbia Theological Seminary, and they have homes and apartments, and they are used by mission co-workers and their families who are on furlough. And again, it was built and funded and operated by the Presbyterian women in this, hang on a second, Synods of South Atlantic and Living Waters. And I believe one other has since joined in the last 2 years, and I haven't updated this for that. I apologize for that. But they do wonderful work. Oh, one of the things that we did several years ago is there is a place south of Atlanta that is a place where you can experience what Jesus's life was like. They serve food that he would have eaten. They do it in a community surrounding so that you can see different artifacts from that period of time and how the housing was set up. So we took a group down to there and just had an absolutely wonderful time. Another thing that we've got is Church Women United. They are an ecumenical association of Christian women. They have recently relocated their headquarters to here in Atlanta, and they work for peace and justice in the world through the Fellowship of the Least Coin. So that's one of the important recipients of the Least Coin offering.
Joe?
Yes.
I just wanted to tell y'all, I have joined Columbia Friendship Circle, and they have a lot going on. They do a lot of good things. And one of the most recent programs they were doing was a program for young girls that in that age of coming into puberty, about 12 years old. There was a whole program and literature and parental involvement. It was just a great thing to be able to help young girls become young women. So every time they have all kinds of things going on all the time. And they usually remind you with what they call a trading call post or something. I'll get a voicemail about this is what's going on. This is where you get the link. This is what's happening. So they keep up with everybody in a very positive way. But I've been to several of their meetings and they were just spot on. They were very organized. They were very professional. They had their act together. It was really, really wonderful. So it's worth investigating and participating with them.
Right. And one of the other things they do is offer scholarships to students at Columbia. This year, they are trying to raise $30,000. And right now, I think they're sitting on $27,000 that they've raised so that they can give scholarships to a number of students that are second career people. In other words, they aren't brand new and just out of college. They're people that have had a profession and have decided to go into the ministry in some form or fashion. So if you all have any extra money and want to forward it to Columbia Friendship Circle, they do an incredible job. The other thing is they have Come See Columbia Day. This last year was the first time we've had it in 2 years because of all of the illness that we've had in this country. But they do an absolutely fabulous job of working with the students. And if you ever have a chance, check out this website and find out when their Come See Columbia Day is and go to it. It is really, really good. This year, they did some special teaching sessions, and I went to one, and the professor looked like he was just out of college, but he had been there 12 years, and he was one of the biblical scholars and did just a fascinating presentation. So I really enjoyed that. Another one is the John C. Smith and the Presbyterian with Women Smith Cemetery Supporters, which is hard to say. John C. Smith is totally online, and it is one of 9 theological schools of the Presbyterian Church USA. It is the only one of the 9 that is historically African American, and they provide online book studies and online classes. They have really helped in so many different ways. The book classes, book studies that they do online are really enriching, and they do a number of different ones, which you can find on their page.
I've also participated with them, and I helped facilitate, not teach, but help facilitate a class on racial justice back in time of Lent. I did it during Lent in March, and right now they've got what they call a colloquy, which is just a shorter series of just 3 meetings, and they're doing a lot of discussion, of course, about the situation with all the killings like up in Baltimore and Uvalde. So it's heavy duty stuff, but it's you learn what's going on, and you learn why it's important if you didn't quite understand it before, and you learn where God is calling you to be a help in some of that, to be aware. So the JCTS is a great place to get more education on things.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Something's covering me up. Okay, here we go. Oh, I didn't talk about widening the circle. Hang on. These funds are for innovative programs. And if you want to honor somebody in your church or in your presbytery, or just honor a woman, you can give to the endowment fund. And these funds are for innovative programs that will help and enable increasing the number of younger women for leadership roles in the church at every level. It is a great way of helping out some of the younger women so that they can participate, because if they're just starting out in their careers, they probably don't have a great number of excess funds to deal with. And it also includes the collection of theological insights. But this is the address for that. Fellowship of the Least Coin is probably one of my favorite. It's an ecumenical prayer movement. Quest for peace, justice, reconciliation, and the least coin is used for grants for special projects in every different way, to solidarity and awareness, relief and awareness among women throughout the world. And it's one of my favorite, and we take up a collection every circle meeting and make sure it gets forwarded on. We've also got the publishing ministry, which helps us build community. It produces the Horizon magazine and the Bible study. And any gift to the publishing ministry helps to keep the cost down. So there are a number of different ways that you can give, and I've included them there. Together in Service. This was formerly known as Mission Opportunities, and the funds are used for healthcare, education, reconciliation and healing, poverty relief, disaster recovery, and after-school support through music, sports, homework help, and child-centered activities. There's so many different ways that we can contribute. And I'm sure that each one of you, if you take a look, will find one of these that will particularly appeal to you. Honorary lifetime memberships. I was fortunate to receive one of these from my church, and it has been very meaningful for me. It's a pin, but I have converted mine to a necklace, and I found just a silver strand chain, and was able to hook it through the pin to make it into a necklace, and it's much easier to wear, and you don't have to worry about it being right side up. But it honors both men and women. Your group can decide who you want to do. I know, I believe it was St. Luke's that recently, this last year, honored Steve Caswell, who has been very active in many, many different areas. And they honored him with an honorary lifetime membership. And they support the PW Leadership Development Program, church-wide gathering, ecumenical advocacy days, and the UN Commission on the Status of Women. If you all have never looked into that, I would encourage you to become familiar with the UN Commission on the Status of Women. They have some outstanding programs. And I hope that even though we're getting out of the virus situation, that they will continue doing it through Zoom, so that more people can attend and not have to go all the way to DC to take care of that. There's many different recognition and memorial gifts, and they provide community support, develop and share leadership skills, and grow in faith. And donations may be made in any amount. You can recognize somebody or just your church. That's one of the areas that I think that we need to concentrate on, is helping people decide how they want their gifts to be given. We've got the birthday offering, and that has benefited so many in the Atlanta area over the years. They award up to 5 programs for capital improvement. They support both domestic and international ministries, and they focus on agricultural development, child care, criminal justice, drug counseling. Hang on. And as you can see, there are a lot of different areas that they support. We've got other opportunities, and that's where I would like your feedback. In the Lawrenceville area, we have a co-op, and it's Lawrenceville Cooperative Ministries. And all of the churches go together and collect canned or boxed foods to share with the co-op, so that they can feed people that come to them that are out of work or underemployed. And we have a little mission box out front of our door that looks like a church, and you just lift up the roof and put your contributions in, and they have a list that comes out weekly and says, we're short on these items, so if you could concentrate on rice, or if you can concentrate on potatoes or canned potatoes or dried potatoes. They give different suggestions. Fruit snacks are always welcome for the kids. And there's just so many different things that we could go on and on about. There's a clothes closet. It's the one that we use in Lawrenceville is supported and sponsored by the First Baptist Church of Lawrenceville. So we kind of get ecumenical, but it's a great place that you can donate the clothes that you no longer want or can wear. Just make sure that they're in fairly decent shape. Um, I have donated lots and lots of stuff, especially after my parents died and after my husband died. That was a great place that I could share with them and share some of their things so that I knew it would be put to good use. The clothes closet has a voucher system that it's very low cost. And sometimes if you get a voucher from the co-op, you can use that voucher to purchase clothes. So there's a number of different ways of doing that. But if your particular area has a co-op, that's a great way of doing it, or a clothes closet. The other thing that I thought of was bookmobiles and supplying children with books. There are a number of different resources. I know I've gotten quite interested in some of the books that are produced by the Presbyterian Publishing, and they're very reasonable. And I've just been purchasing a few along to go into our younger classrooms so that they can learn how to deal with some things that normally don't come up. But excuse me, it is a wonderful way of sharing God's love. And that's what missions are all about, is sharing God's love so that they become healthy physically and healthy mentally. And we and all of our wealth can share with other people. Do you all have any particular missions that you all do that I haven't mentioned here?
In Southwest Florida, am I muted?
No, you're fine.
I'm muted. In Southwest Florida, we have a lot of missions that are geared toward the agricultural community, the farm workers.
Right.
And we support in Peace River Presbytery, we support Bethel Ministries, which is close to Tampa. And these are people who have, they may have come to this country through H-2A visas, or they may have come illegally, but they are our people who are putting food on our table. And we have Bethel Ministries, and from that, we began Mission Peniel in Immokalee. And Mission Peniel is a Peace River supported ministry, Presbyterian ministry. And we have Pastor Miguel, who came to us from Bethel Ministries, and we have opened up this mission in Immokalee, which serves a hot meal on Fridays when they come out of the field. We have a diaper ministry. We have food that we give. We have a garden where we grow food. We have a man from Echo who is part of, that's a ministry, I think that's a national ministry that teaches people how to grow food in kind of undesirable places. And so we give them a lot of produce and clothes and medical attention, and we try to take care of their needs. And that's Immokalee, Florida, one of the worst places in the world to live. And it's got a huge poverty rate. And we are, I'm also on the board of Immokalee Fair Housing, and we're trying to build some affordable housing units there because these are people who are exploited.
Oh, I grew up in Florida, so I am very familiar with that, with all of the citrus workers and tomato pickers and that. So that's a great service down there. Anybody else have any other mission opportunities? Janice?
Okay, I would like to say that Hillside has our food pantry. that we run, and it is very active. We have people coming in who have no access to food. We also did voter registration this year, and we also are helping people who have not gotten there to register to vote. So that means that they have to have birth certificates. So we are in the process of helping them do that. Get their birth certificates and their certification. So it's a lot of things going on at Hillside. We're thinking about some new things we'd like to do, but the food pantry is our main thing, and people come in every week. It's on Tuesdays. We have people coming in, who are begging for food. They have no access to food, and I am glad to see that happen. I know what the lady from Florida is saying. I just moved to here from Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale. I was the PW moderator for South Florida, which is going through some changes now, but very active. But I do know what she's talking about because we did help with that also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that was several years ago. We met in Epcot for the triennial, and I believe the food workers were the main recipient of the collection that was collected at that triennial. Sam, how about you?
We have a lot of homeless people in Savannah, and our church provides meals every Tuesday for homeless people through the city mission in Savannah. We also work with Family of Promise. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but various churches and agencies in Savannah work together with families that are homeless and provide all kinds of support for them, including training and helping with job interviews and trying to get them jobs and find permanent housing or temporary housing until they can move into some permanent housing. Before the COVID pandemic, we hosted them in our church. So they stayed in our church. We set up cots in various Sunday school classrooms for a family to sleep there. We had showers for them to shower, and we cooked meals for them. And then during the day, they went to the different programs, training programs, and another church provided daycare for the children. So that has, but since the pandemic, we're not able to do that in our church. So churches have donated funds, and there's an abandoned hotel that they're using to house those people all the time, rather than rotating them through the churches and the community. We also, in our church building, we house a Thornwell office. As you probably know, Thornwell is moving more away from sort of orphanages and into working with families within the home. So we donate office space for the young woman who houses that wing of the Thornwell ministry in Savannah.
Well, that's exciting to know. I know that there have been some changes in the laws that have required Thornwell to move in different directions. But that's good to know that they have an office over in Savannah to help with that. Does anybody else have anything? Harry?
Joe, am I mute? Am I okay?
You're
muted.
fine.
Our church, they support a facility up in it's it's north of us. It's right outside of Atlanta, actually. And it's called Calvary. And they have families that cannot find a place to live or have no place to live right away. So they keep some of these families. And then they also have of course, they feed them. And so once a month, our church, it's either the women or a Sunday school class or the choir or somebody will provide a meal for them once a month. And we take the meal there and serve it to them. And then that's it. And so that's the one thing that we do when it comes to, feeding or taking care of some the families in the Atlanta area. So,
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. It's one of the things that in working with various mission opportunities, I found very encouraging is when we join with other churches. And it doesn't have to be a Presbyterian church. It can be the Catholic Church, or it can be the Methodist Church or the Baptist Church. But by joining with somebody else, we can always do a greater good than we can do by ourselves. So that is one of the things that I really am trying to encourage other people. Another thing that I have just recently discovered is nursing home ministries. I'm still in the investigative stage, but there is a real need for visitors into some of the nursing homes because there are people there that don't have anybody coming to visit them. And so I am trying to put together a workshop on how to do a nursing home ministry. And hopefully we'll do it sometime this summer. So just keep me in your prayers that I can get this off the starting block and get it going. But one of the things that in talking to the chaplain of the God Cares ministry, he said, now, when you start going to visit, you don't start thumping your Bible. You go in to make friends. And after you have made friends, then you introduce your church into the opportunity. Which I thought was a great way of looking at it, because making friends is what these people need if they don't have any visitors. So I'm looking forward to that, and I will keep you all posted. I do plan to send out this website, this PowerPoint presentation to each one of you. So if you don't get it from me shortly, within the next week, please reach out to me so that I can follow up again, because it's got a lot of good information, and people are always asking, well, what does your money do? And I thought that this was a good way that we can tell them, hey, here's some of the things that your money supports. So I hope that we can do that. I know this seems like it's pretty short because we've only been going for about 45 minutes, but does anybody else have any opportunities that they think should be mentioned and shared to other people?
Joe, this isn't an opportunity really to share with other people, but you can change my name to Virginia. I guess they got the Perry from the email that I have.
Okay.
So, my name is actually Virginia.
Okay. I do appreciate that.
Joe, one thing that our Presbyterian PW coordinating team is trying to do right now is work with Safe Shelter, which is a place for battered women, but also battered men who and families. And we thought, as these families get ready to move from Safe Shelter into temporary or permanent housing, many, especially women who have had to flee a domestic violence situation, don't have kitchen supplies and just things that you need to keep house. So we are, I've just contacted Safe Shelter, and we're trying to work out the details of having showers for these families as they sort of housewarming showers to give them things that they need. And also we'll establish a relationship with the women themselves, as we will have the shower there at Safe Shelter, so that we'll interact with the women. And we have also considered the possibility of baby showers for those women who have been in domestic violence situations that are now out but are about to have babies. So that's something that we're working on. We haven't actually done it yet, but we're just in the stages of trying to figure out the logistics of it.
That sounds like a great opportunity. We have a program called Family Promise in Gwinnett County. And what they have done is they have bought a piece of property and have converted it so that they can handle, I think it's 4 families at a time in this one facility. Sometimes they're fleeing domestic problems. Sometimes they're just plain homeless and need help. But there's an interview process that they go through, and it's a wonderful organization. We used to house them in the various churches so that they rotated around. And it was great having them come to us instead of us going to them. But it sounds very similar to what you're talking about. And we did have some showers for the people as they moved on to permanent housing. So if you need any information on Family Promise, feel free to give me a call. I'll be glad to put you in touch with Carol Love. She does a great job. But there are so many things out there, and each community is unique. So it's not one size fits all. We need to find our own niche in our own community so that we can help each other. And by helping someone else, we're helping ourselves. I'm firmly convinced of that. Anybody else have anything? Okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to close this with a word of prayer. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to meet with other women who have similar concerns so that we may grow our knowledge base, so that we may grow our ability to help people, and give us the tender heart that we need in dealing with these people. Some of them have been just really down and out and need somebody to love on them and need somebody to believe in them. So we ask this in thy name. Amen. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. See you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.